My decision, this ambition, everything comes out bland. Look for mystery, if you kiss me, I'll throw my fist in the air. And I'll fight for what is right. You need to make your life feel pretty tight, yeah. All this distance, read my system, Lord, I wish it made sense. You're the difference between my wish list and me wishing it would end. So I'll fight for whatever right. You need to make your life feel like a really, really good time. I don't wanna let you down again. I don't wanna let you down again. I'd hate myself if I let you down again. Promise I won't let you down again. Like a sail or a kite, I'ma let the wind decide. As long as you are by my side, no, I'll be alright, no, I'll be alright. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, I'ma let the wind decide.
Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to bring you through some of the new habits that I am going to be building so that I can beat seasonal depression, so that I can live up to my full potential, so that I can start feeling more confident within myself, because winter is coming. And not only is winter coming, I feel like a lot of us are going through a natural seasonal shift in life, which requires us to either rebuild or relearn some habits we've fallen off of, or just being really intentional with where we are putting our time, our attention, our actions moving forward. I have been witnessing in the past few months that there is a standard that I know that I could definitely be living up to more, and I'm kind of not. I feel like I'm in this energy of coasting through a lot of things in my life. I have learned how to build really sustainable, healthy habits over many years of healing and working on myself and self-improving, but there are definitely things that I'm starting to realize, like, you know, if I keep letting these things go, if I keep sleeping on myself, if I keep just coasting and only doing the bare minimum when I know I could be doing more, come December, I'm probably not gonna be in the best mental headspace. And I think a lot of the reasons why I struggled so much to have seasonal depression back in the day was because I wasn't pouring into my own cup. I really wasn't nourishing myself through this time. I was unhappy with my life. I was slacking on a lot of my goals. I was being a hyper perfectionist, which then would lead me into really unhealthy cycles. And learning all of that, I know that it's time to make sure that I am on my shit, but in a way that is healthy. It's something that I've been thinking about. I've heard this many times, and probably you have too, that your direction is more important than your speed. When we're talking about rebuilding healthy habits or building healthy habits for the first time and making sure that we are, you know, happy and healthy throughout the winter months, or really whenever, it is so important that we don't fall into our old behaviors that I know most of you guys probably have in your life, of this having to do things 100% or not at all, or overwhelming yourself with way too many things and then not feeling good enough about yourself and your life and your habits because you weren't able to check off this huge list. And for instance, let's say you are somebody who's wanting to start to go to the gym more, or go into this fitness era, or eat better food, or sleep better, or put more time and attention into your career or your education. There are multiple steps in the process of you reaching that goal that we sometimes like to look over and just think about the end goal. Let's say, for instance, when it comes to weightlifting, you might have seen me post that I was in the gym doing hip thrusts with 215 pounds. That took me all year to work up to. But you might look at that and be like, oh my God, I need to go to the gym and I need to do really, really heavy hip thrusts. But realistically, if you haven't been going, you don't need to go into the gym and do heavy hip thrusts. You need to first get yourself to the gym. And on top of that, you need to learn how to do the movement before even loading a bunch of weight on there. And then throughout the time, you can add that weight. And you have to really apply that mindset with any sort of habit that you're trying to break, any sort of habit that you're trying to reincorporate into your life. I even think this when it comes to, let's say you want to quit caffeine and you've been somebody who drinks caffeine every single day. Maybe you have two coffees a day, or maybe even 3. For you to just be like, tomorrow I'm going to stop drinking caffeine because this is a goal of mine, is quite unrealistic. It's quite unrealistic for multiple reasons. For one, on a physiological level, your body is literally addicted to caffeine, so you will have most likely lots of headaches. You will, maybe have some brain fog. It might be really, really difficult for you to operate through your day without having any caffeine if you just cut it off completely. Not to say that you can't do that, but that's usually what happens. And on top of that, in general, if you're always using using caffeine as a way to kind of get you through the day, or almost as that emotional support, because realistically that is what it is. We're regulating our nervous system somehow, some way with all of these habits, whether they're good or bad. You know, we don't have to label things too much, but you are going to need some time to gradually wean yourself off of those things. So I know with the goals that I have in mind for myself this winter, I know that I need to think about my direction more than my speed, and I need to strive for progress versus perfection. I don't care to be perfect. So as you saw this morning, I woke up, I made my bed, I had some water, I journaled, and I ate. Those things on top of going to get sunlight and going for a walk right after this, we're gonna do that, and I'll tell you why I started this video before I went out and did that. Those are things that are important for me to do in my morning routine. Your morning routine might look a lot different than mine, but specifically some of the goals that I have in mind for myself are to make sure that I am having a better appetite and I'm eating more food, which means when I wake up in the morning, I want to make sure that I'm eating before I have my coffee, because if I have my coffee, then I'm pushing off food even longer, and then I'm not like really eating a lot, and I want to nourish my body. I want to nourish my body because my body deserves it. It makes me feel better. On top of that, I weight train. I need to be eating enough for muscle building. On top of making sure that I have water in the morning, it's just a normal, really good thing to have water in the morning. Like, another thing is journaling. I think journaling out my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, everything that I'm feeling, whether things are weighing on me or I just need to remind myself of my worth and my value to continue to solidify the confidence that I have within myself. It's very important for me, and lately I haven't been doing that. So I'm making an effort to wake up in the morning and connect to myself before I connect to anything else. If you guys want a video on the ultimate guide to journaling, then I will have that link down below. I made a video on all the different types of journaling practices that I personally do and I really like, that could really help you in terms of changing your self-concept, really making yourself feel good in the mornings. I just think that it is such a beautiful practice. And then I'm going to go on a walk because I think it's really important to get sunlight, to go out and move your body a little bit. This is outside of me actually having a workout. This is just something that I'm trying to incorporate more. I think considering how much time I spend in my own place and in my own mind, it is good to break up your days and to go outside and get some nature and also get sunlight, especially as the winter months come and there's not a lot of sunlight. That's what we're gonna do right now. And then when I come back from the walk, I'm actually gonna stop at the grocery store because I need a lot of groceries. We're gonna do a haul. I'm gonna talk about intentional eating, and then we're gonna move on for the day. We are back, got the groceries, and my head is hurting really badly, to be honest. And that is definitely because I've pushed off my coffee and had food in the morning, which I'm not mad about. I'm also not trying to wean myself off of coffee. I just want to eat before I have coffee. So I've already started making my coffee because I literally I can't. So anyways, we're French pressing the coffee and I'm going to show you what I got. And then I'm gonna drink it and sit down for a second. Okay, so I got some more bananas because I feel like why not just have this around the house when I wanna have a snack. I am trying to eat more. I also wanna add more banana to my smoothies because I don't currently. And by the way, I have a few meal ideas, which I'm gonna talk about eating intentionally after I put this away and then have my coffee. We'll talk about my meal planning, like what I'm currently doing. I got some mushrooms, I got some bacon because I wanna have some more bacon in the morning like I had this morning with my turkey bacon, and eggs. I just got like regular bacon. 3 steaks, because you guys know I'm obsessed with steak and I'm trying to eat new foods, like not new foods, but like switch up the way that I'm eating certain meals instead of making it so basic to the point where I just like push off eating because there's nothing really exciting to eat, or I'll like eat out or, you know, eat something that's like not necessarily the best because it just tastes better. I am not a restrictive person. I'll let myself eat really whatever, but I do feel the best when I know that I'm eating intentionally. I got some lettuce because I want to chop that up for a bowl that I want to make. I got some red bell peppers that I'm going to saute with the mushrooms, and I got onion as well. I got some cheese. I love having shredded cheese for like nachos. I'll make steak nachos. I'll add ground beef onto the nachos, chicken on nachos. I'll add that into a quesadilla or any sort of wrap. I got some, this is sprouted rye 12 grain bread. I usually like the sourdough, but I couldn't find it. This is from Stone Mill. I got some orange juice because I like to add a dash of orange juice in my protein smoothies, which if you want to see some of my meals, definitely follow me on Instagram because I'll post on my stories and I'll put it in a highlight of like what I'm eating. I got a huge thing of chicken because I want to make chicken quesadillas because like I said, I need to like switch up some things. I got some more half and half cream grass-fed, which I really love. I add this into my coffee as well as a little bit of almond milk, or sorry, not almond milk. I don't like almond milk. Oat milk, a little bit in my coffee because I like it to taste a little bit more creamier, but I don't want to add like this much cream. Like I think that's like, nah. And I don't like, I drink milk when I go out and I get lattes and stuff. I don't care. Like I don't ask for oat milk unless it's like made with it, whatever. I don't really care about that. But at home, for some reason, when I make my coffee, I don't like adding regular milk into it. I feel like it tastes, there's a difference between cream and milk in your coffee, and I like cream. But I also don't like having too much of it, not because of anything to do with like calories or anything. I just don't like the taste of like a huge thing of cream, you know? So that's why I add oat milk, but I also use that for my smoothies as well. I also got another Maybelline mascara because I ran out of it and I needed something. And then I got some guacamole. Usually I get the fresh one that they made. This is like really good anyways. Like there's no additives in this. It's from Holy Guacamole, but I do like the fresh guacamole that they make in-house, but I went really early and they didn't have it. Anyways, I'm gonna put this away and have a few sips of my coffee, and then we're gonna talk about intentional eating. Okay, I had my coffee and I'm feeling so much better, and I got a little bit warm, so I just put on this workout top. The next thing I actually want to talk about, instead of talking about intentional eating, we can talk about that after I go to the gym, but that is deep work. So being somebody who has a lot of goals for herself, if I am not being intentional and productive with my time, I will slack on my goals and I won't achieve my goals. And then when I feel like I'm slacking and I'm not living up to my goals and my standards, then that is when I will start to feel chaotic. I will start to get depressed. I'll start to get into these ruts. And I think that the past few months, I have realized that there are things that I need to tune up in my life in order to feel better about myself, better about my life. And I would highly suggest for you, going through the winter especially, to have a set schedule. You don't have to be perfect, but having a weekly, a daily schedule where you have certain tasks and you're getting them done is so beneficial for your mental health. It is so beneficial for your mental clarity when you are putting your time and attention into your work throughout maybe like an hour of the day or 2 hours, you're time blocking. Something I was actually even saying in my one-on-one coaching yesterday to someone was, when we are on a pursuit to a goal, not us hitting the actual goal, but when we know when we're on the pursuit of a goal and we know we're taking small actions every single day to achieve that goal, we actually release dopamine. And when we release dopamine, that means you're feeling good, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling like, okay, I can do this, like life is good. And when we have a lack of that dopamine, what we usually do is maybe we'll go to food for that quick dopamine kick, or we'll text the ex, or we'll go on social media and scroll and get that TikTok like dopamine kick, and then we feel like shit afterwards. So I like to find healthier ways that I can actually tap into some of these happy hormones essentially, and that is setting goals for myself, but also taking action towards those goals. Even when things feel very chaotic in your life, things aren't going your way, when you have some sort of vision for yourself and you're moving in that direction, whether fast or slow, it definitely does help, in my personal opinion, when it comes to any sort of depression or things that I might be going through in my life. So personally for me, there's two things that I've been trying to work on. One is writing out which days I'm going to be filming and editing my podcast and my YouTube videos so that I can stay on top of my work and just be more clear-minded so that I'm not, scattered throughout the week, recording a podcast episode and having to edit it the exact same day because it needs to go up the next day, which makes my whole entire day feel just, I get really agitated and annoyed because I'm sitting at my computer all day, I'm talking about the same thing all day, when in reality, if I just had a better plan, I wouldn't feel so overwhelmed. So lately, I have been making sure to record my podcast episodes on Monday and on Thursday, so I have 2 to 3 days in between when it actually is supposed to go live. And especially for the weekends, I don't like the stress of having to make sure my podcast is out on the Monday. So Thursdays is now when I am going to sit down and record those, which is going to be today. Now, bringing it back to what I was saying about deep work, what I've been really liking to do is when I wake up in the morning, I usually will have some water. I'll make sure that I'm journaling a little bit. I'm not being on my phone. I also will make sure that I eat something. And when I eat something, that is when I do let myself go on my phone, because I do live alone. Now, I still try not to go on Instagram and consume a bunch of people's content or whatever. Usually I'll just like put on a YouTube video that I did when I was eating, but I am very aware of how much I've been looking or sitting on my phone throughout the day, because that really does take me away from being super focused on my tasks at hand. But when I come back from my walk, that is when I like to have this deep work session where essentially I'll have my coffee and I'll give myself at least like 1 hour, and that is when I put my attention into my emails, my content ideas, or any admin stuff. Essentially everything that I do is on the computer and like content creation, but I like to tackle some of my work for at least an hour, and then I will go to the gym. I do that for multiple reasons. I do that because when I want to have my coffee, I don't want to like have it in like 5 minutes and then go to the gym. I like to like make sure that like things are digested in my stomach. I also do like to do a little bit of work before I go to the gym. I am not somebody who likes to wake up right out of my bed and do a 6 a.m. workout. It just doesn't work for me, and that is another tip. When you're making your morning routine, make it work for you. I know sometimes you kind of have to push yourself if you don't have a lot of time, which I used to do that all the time in college when I was working 2 jobs. There was times I didn't want to go to the gym, but even in those times, I did make it as enjoyable as possible, which I will talk about when we go to the gym. So right now it's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna give myself probably like an hour. There's a few things that I need to send in for my book. By the way, I'm gonna be doing a cover reveal very soon for my book. If you guys didn't know, I wrote a book. It's already done, and it's gonna be coming out January 9th. 2024, and it's really exciting. And with that said, there is marketing that needs to be done for this book, and I had a meeting yesterday, so I want to do like a follow-up email and get a few things ready for that, and then I will definitely be ready to go to the gym. I just personally think for myself, I know a lot of people say like, you know, like move your body in the morning and like do everything for yourself. And there are things that I have already done for myself this morning. But anxiety wise, I do like to get a little bit of work done before I go and do this big or small workout. It just allows me to feel a little bit more clear-minded to be able to go to the gym and actually enjoy that and be in the present. I am somebody who, you know, I try my best, put away the stresses of the day and focus on the task at hand, or like go to the gym and stop focusing on certain things. But if there's a lot of things to do for work, or if there's like, if I'm under a lot of emotional stress, I like to honestly address those things before I try and force myself through something where I clearly can't focus. This doesn't mean I do that every time, because sometimes you need to go to the gym and not do all your million tasks, because then you'll never go to the gym. Let's say you're going through a breakup, or you just lost your job, or you're really stressed about money, and you're trying to be strong, you're trying to go throughout your day and, you know, be positive and tell yourself like good affirmations and, you know, whatever. But sometimes I find that if I'm not able to tell myself a new story in the moment, which is very, very helpful in what I do a lot to be able to get through hard times in my life, but if I'm not able to change my perception of the situation at hand, that is when I usually know that I need to actually dive into the emotions that I'm feeling, that I'm trying to cover up. So if I find myself dwelling, I can't get over the fact that there's all of these things I have to do, or this breakup that I'm going through, or whatever it is, I will open up my journal and I will let my emotions out. I will write everything that I'm feeling. I'll say that I'm sad. I'll, you know, be pissed off. I will get everything out, and then I'm a little bit more clear-headed to be able to go throughout my days. So that is kind of what I like to do in terms of like this deep work session. So we're gonna do some work, and then we're gonna go to the gym. Okay, it's been an hour and a half, a little bit longer than I wanted to work, but that's totally fine. I'm gonna go to the gym now because one of my, it's not even a goal, it's just a lifestyle change and thing that I need to do is moving my body. Now, I go to the gym pretty regularly. I've been weightlifting this whole entire year, but I definitely want to be even more consistent and not only just see more results with my training, but again, like there's no reason why I shouldn't go to the gym and either, let's say I can't do leg day, I can still work on my core or my arms, or go and do some stretching, or go and do a treadmill workout. I also go to Pilates, I do spin, I do things outside of my place, but on the days that I'm not, and on the days that I'm not doing legs, I wanna go to the gym more and just move my body and just get into this consistent movement schedule. And something I was even thinking about yesterday when I did legs, I went into the gym with, I didn't have anxiety, but I had a few things weighing on me that I was just like ruminating about and I couldn't stop thinking about. And you know, it took a while for me to really stop thinking about those things, but I realized once I was done and I was doing my stretching routine that not only did all of my stress and anxiety, or whatever you want to call it, not only did that go away, but I just felt like I was able to think about the things that I was thinking about before I went to the gym in a new light. I had more clarity. Even as, you know, some of the thoughts started coming back, I felt like I could conquer those thoughts. I was in a better mind state. And I think that it's so important to look at moving your body more for your mental health than anything that is going to do for you physically. It's no doubt that you going to the gym and moving your body consistently, you're going to get results. And that's something I had to really let go of, was this end goal. This is not to say that we can never have an end goal when it comes to doing healthy habits. But I realized that just adopting healthier habits, naturally, I'm going to get better results. And that's exactly what I have. I have better health. I have an amazing body. In my personal opinion, I think my body is amazing. I think that I am the strongest, fittest, healthiest, more energetic, more productive person that I've ever been, because I've learned how to incorporate healthy lifestyle changes outside of what it's gonna give me outside of the goal, knowing that I'm gonna get the goal anyways. I also want to read out a few Pinterest quotes that I found, because I was posting the promotion of my podcast. That's what I was doing as well on my deep work session, and I found a few that I feel like are pretty relevant to this whole entire theme of this video. So one of them says, deep down you know exactly what you're capable of. There's even moments where you get a glimpse of all the potential you have. You can get there. You just have to be willing to sacrifice the habits, things, and situations that are standing in the way of your success. And I think the first part really hits home for me. It's like, I deep down know that I'm capable of doing more, of not coasting so much. And that is why I've been in this stage of, you know, really pushing and challenging myself to do a little bit more than I usually have been. I've been doing great with my healthy habits, but I know that there's things that I am more capable of being able to do if I just push myself. Another one that I really like, it takes years to develop your craft. Do not romanticize the idea of overnight success. Be a student, grow organically, get really good, hate your work, start over, find new ways to express the same ideas. The student becomes the master. Your time will come. Bringing it back to what I said at the beginning of this video, it takes time and failing and succeeding and changing and evolving sometimes to get to a certain goal. So just being okay with that. Just know that not every single day is going to be perfect. Like for me today, I was starting to get a little bit agitated because I'm like, oh my God, I need to get to the gym soon, like in a timely manner. Like I don't want to be sitting on my computer doing everything, but I realized like these are certain things that I want to get done, that I know that I want to get done before I go to the gym. I don't need to rush things. Not every single day I need to go to the gym at a specific certain time. I'm going to be okay, especially for my specific job and like my lifestyle. And I even think about this in sense of, there are days that I go on my phone a little bit more, and then I'm witnessing like, damn, like I don't want to go on my phone, like I shouldn't be doing this. But I give myself grace in those moments, and I remind myself that I don't have to be perfect with everything. And when I give myself that energy, I'm more likely the next day to remember how I felt in the moment of doing that behavior, and I say, I'd rather just not, because I actually care about how I feel and I don't like scrolling on my phone throughout the day. Versus if I told myself, okay, well tomorrow you cannot go on your phone, and like it's, you know, you've done really bad and you can't go on it, whatever, the next day I'm gonna feel really restricted and I'm almost gonna wanna go on my phone more. It's literally a natural human thing. When you tell yourself that you can't have that chocolate cake, you're gonna want it 10 times more. Versus telling yourself it's available whenever, you can have it whenever, but I love myself and I want to pour into myself and I know what feels the best to me, and eating chocolate cake on the regular doesn't feel good to me. Tapping into how you feel is really, really important, and changing from a place of self-love versus self-hate has been so key for me. I think movement is so important, especially during the winter months. And I know sometimes it can feel a little bit harder because it's cold, you know, maybe it's dark out in the mornings. Like sometimes it's definitely harder. But I would highly suggest you really romanticize and you find movement that works for your routine, that works for your body, that you actually like, because you're just going to do it more. So for me, I love weight training. I'm really interested in creating more core strength in my core. I really like doing treadmill workouts and doing like high incline and putting on a really, really good playlist. I love like hyping myself up before I go to the gym and putting on my playlist. By the way, if you guys want to see my playlist, I have them all on Spotify and they'll be linked down below. I have my little headphones. I'll get my cute little outfit on. Like I just romanticize the time. I get out of my head about the stories that I'm telling myself about how hard the gym is going to be. I just tell myself I can do it. It's an easy thing. It's a normal thing. It's like brushing your teeth. You just do it. It's a good thing for yourself. Obviously reminding myself of how I feel after the gym. Those are all things that you're gonna really need to do, especially through winter, to be able to push yourself in this energy of consistently moving your body. So find something that works for you. Switch it up if you want. I like to go to Pilates. I like to do spin. There's certain things I don't like to do. I'm not a runner. Also, don't just like to do like walks as my workouts. Like I like to have those hard workouts at times. I like to have specific playlists for my workouts. I love to listen to hood music, drill music when I'm doing heavy lifting. So yeah, make it fun and fresh. I'm gonna make my workout fun and fresh. I'm gonna do a version of 12-3-30 on the treadmill, but instead of doing an incline of 12, I do it at 15. I can't go up any higher because it won't go up any higher and I don't have a Stairmaster. So I'm gonna warm up on the treadmill for about 5 minutes, just like normal walking with no incline. I'm gonna do the incline and I work usually around like 3.3 miles an hour, depending on how I'm feeling. Maybe it's a little bit slower or faster for 30 minutes, and then I'll cool down. And then I'm gonna do lots of stretching because I am sore in my shoulders. I did a boxing class the other day and I also did legs yesterday, so I need to make sure that I'm stretching. And of course I'm going to listen to bomb ass music. Nothing better than working out, fueling your body after, and then going into a nice long shower and getting ready. I feel on 10. So as you guys saw, I made a protein smoothie, which I usually like to have after I do my workouts because I'm quite warm and it's just like a quick way to just eat. I don't love cooking all the time, every single meal. I just feel like I have a lot of things going on in my life that I just don't feel like spending a bunch of time cooking. Which I am going to cook after I record my podcast episode. I think I've already said this in this video. I don't count calories. I'm not on any sort of diet, but I just am very intentional when I eat. And that is kind of something that I just quickly wanted to mention. I think that, you know, as you're going through the winter months, it really is so important that we intentionally eat. And what do I mean by intentionally eating? Well, intentional eating to me is fueling my body. I know the foods that are good for me, and it doesn't mean I always have to eat them all the time. And you know, I can't like indulge in a pizza or have ice cream or whatever I'm craving. but I know the foods that make me feel the best. It's balanced meals, it's meals that I cook at home, it's delicious food like steak and my protein smoothie that I love. Love to have eggs on toast. I like to have Greek salads. Like my favorite foods that I can make at home that nourish my body. And I think the media wants to make you believe that you don't know how to eat and like you need another new diet to intentionally eat or nourish yourself, but it's pretty common sense. We all kind of know for the most part that, you know, eating unprocessed foods, more whole foods, obviously it depends if you're vegan or not, but personally for me, my beliefs are as highest quality animal proteins that I can get, I will eat. If it's not high quality, I do not stress about it, I still eat it. There was many times where I didn't have money to be buying grass-fed or organic, and I still ate like more conventional, and that was fine. It's not the biggest deal, I personally don't think. Also just understanding what works for you as well. Like there's just certain foods that I don't enjoy eating, and there's just certain foods that I just know that are not necessarily the best for me. I know if I wake up in the morning and I eat a donut, that's gonna spike my blood sugar. There's only really carbs in that piece of food, and I might have a lot of energy for a small amount of time, but then I dip down. Same thing happens when I drink coffee on an empty stomach and I don't eat for like hours. Like I just don't feel good. I don't need somebody on the internet to tell me that eating a donut in the morning is not healthy. My body tells me. And I think unfortunately we've lost a lot of trust in listening to our bodies because we've been chasing this external validation and changing our bodies and body image, and we really struggle with that, and I've been there too. And so we go to the diet and we try and figure out how to change ourselves, and we get super confused, and then we mess up our relationships with food, and then now we can't, you know, oh no, like what's good, what's not. But I think like going back to basics has really helped me, just knowing like, okay, protein is really good for everyone, especially if you want to build muscle, especially if you want to preserve muscle. It helps with recovery. It also helps with your hormones as a female. It also helps you stay satiated for very long. When it comes to fat, obviously there's different types of fat that you can eat in your diet. You can have fat in the sense of like guacamole and avocado or nuts, and fat is not a bad thing to incorporate in your diet. We need fat in our diets, especially again for women. We actually need more sometimes for our hormones, to balance our hormones. It's really, really helpful. And again, fat makes you feel very satiated. Now, if you're eating highly processed foods that have a lot of saturated fats and have a lot of processed sugars, it might not really actually keep you satiated because it's more processed, versus if you're having slow digesting carbs that have a lot of fiber in it, and they're more whole food, so it's going to take longer for your body to digest. Or if you're incorporating protein into your diet, it's going to allow you to feel more satiated. The same thing with fat. And of course, thinking about your lifestyle and how much energy and nutrients that you need is obviously going to determine how much food maybe you should or should not be eating. There's many ways in which people eat. Personally for me, I like to feel fueled throughout the day. I know it's good to replenish my muscles when I have a workout, or even if I'm literally just doing cardio. It's really good to replenish my body and the minerals and the nutrients that I might have lost. It's good for my skin health. It's good for my gut health to be able to have foods that I can cook at home. Again, I think we just make eating really, really complicated because we are so tied to an outcome. But once I dropped this excessive need to have an outcome when it comes to the gym or dieting, like eating a certain way, and actually just tried to nourish my body the best way that I knew how, was just basically going back to basics and making sure that I was having balanced, healthy meals, which we all really know what those are. I got the results. I didn't have to try very hard. I didn't have to count calories. I didn't have to go on any more extreme diets. My only real goal when it comes to eating this winter is making sure that I am nourished. I don't want to deplete my body. My body needs food to be energized. My body needs food, fat, proteins, carbs to be able to think clearly. My hair, my skin, my teeth, my everything needs food in order to flourish. But for me, I'm wanting to eat more in the mornings before my coffee, but in general, like even if I have it or not, I just want to eat like more food. Lately, when I've been trying to eat more food, I have a pretty small appetite. So although I would love to have, let's say like 2 pieces of toast with 2 eggs and like 3 or 4 pieces of bacon, because like that's like a full meal for me, and I feel like that's exactly like what I should be eating, even though there's no real shoulds, but whatever. I can't eat all that in the morning. I know that I have to start small. So lately I've only been making 1 piece of toast with 1 egg and 2 pieces of turkey bacon, and I'm like working myself up. This is not about me forcing myself either, like working things up. Like maybe I just realized that that's enough food until I get going in the day, but I just knew, because I wasn't eating at all really in the morning, that me setting myself up to have this huge meal, it just like wasn't gonna work, right? And I think when we are creating new habits with everything, you wanna be realistic with your goals, and you need to know yourself. And sometimes we try and follow what everyone else is doing, which is fine to have motivation and inspiration and like, oh, let's see what this person is doing to be healthy, for sure. But at the end of the day, you need to know yourself. Like, have you even been eating at all in the morning? Okay, if you haven't, then following that girl's meal plan online, it might be a little bit hard. So maybe can you scale back a little bit? Maybe can you start small? And one thing I'll even say about my work week and stuff too, the way that I've been structuring it, I have no words for how like just calm and so much more clarity that I have with how I have planned out my work schedule, because I have been very realistic with how much work I'm actually able to get done. Like, I have watched myself try and put a lot of things on my plate and then fail to accomplish all those things because it was just like way too overwhelming, or I just never gave myself an end time. But now that I've been structuring my days, like this day I'm filming, or this day I'm sitting down and I'm planning out my week, or you know, I'm only working until 6 o'clock, and whatever I don't get done will be moved to the next day and I don't need to worry about it. That makes me feel so good. If you keep putting tasks on your list that you keep not being able to achieve, it's no wonder that you don't have a lot of motivation to continue to go and work towards your goals for the rest of the week when you continue to fail. But it's like, why are you failing? A lot of the times it's us. It's the expectations that we have in ourselves to get everything done all the time. And I think in general, you really have to look at this from like a broader view. What is the rush? I understand we have goals, right? I have so many goals for myself, but I have never felt more at peace with life than really now in my life, because I am not in a rush. Like, I'm telling myself every single day, whatever work that I get done, like there's no rush. Like, I'm gonna hit all my goals, it's fine. I don't need to have everything right now. And on top of that, there's always gonna be goals that I'm gonna wanna work towards or work to do. So why am I continuously stressing myself out every single day to try and rush to this finish line? That's not the way that we're supposed to be living life. And I just think that when we get really down and we're in these ruts, it's not to say that there's not outside things that are in play and like shit is not maybe hitting the fan in our lives, like it's normal. But I do think we create even more suffering for ourselves just by the way that we are perceiving situations, or we're telling ourselves we have to be a certain way that we are not. Like, when you feel like you're in a rut and then you're telling yourself how bad it is that you're in this rut and that you have to like get out of it and you have to do this long list of things in order to get out of it, it's overwhelming, and then you fail to accomplish that, and then you feel like shit about yourself. So it's like you end up keep going into this cycle, but the cycle is continuing because of what you're telling yourself. All right, the lighting is coming in like a real crazy right now, but I can't even be mad because the sun is out and I'm gonna soak it up. But yeah, I stress so often about embracing self-acceptance, embracing unconditional love for yourself, and being okay with being imperfect, because that is the most important thing that you need to adopt when you are either in a rut or you're trying to make sure that you don't fall into these ruts. And that is the thing that got me out of all of the cycles that I used to get in. This doesn't mean that I dip down low at times in my life, but I'm able to pull myself out very, very quickly because I tap into this mindset of it's fine. It's not a big deal. I didn't get these things down on my list. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. Or if I continue to seem to be failing, I will look back and I'll say, am I setting too high of expectations for myself? Or how can I be more real with myself and see ways in which I'm coasting, or ways in which I can put more time and attention into this task versus sitting on my phone, so that I'm not feeling so overwhelmed in my week? And I think that that's what I did for a lot of my work stuff too. I started to realize, okay, well, I'm feeling more agitated and annoyed and overwhelmed, and I shouldn't even be feeling like this, because realistically, like, I have enough time. Why am I feeling like this? Well, I'm feeling like this because I keep giving myself room to buffer and room to negotiate some of the days that I'm doing my work. So let me not do that anymore. But let me also be realistic and not be too strict on myself and make it attainable. So anyways, I am going to put some blush on and do my hair quickly. I'm just gonna like slick it back, and then I have to record my podcast episode, and I just feel like no resistance. Not like I ever really feel so much resistance to filming, because I love it, obviously, but I feel way less resistance and way less stress because I actually sat down on Sunday and I wrote out all of my content ideas for the week, for my podcast, for my YouTube, for my TikTok, for my Instagram. Everything was all laid out for the days that I was going to film, like this day, where I could just open it up and I know exactly what I'm talking about and I have my points, and then I can kind of like talk as I go. So let me get to it and we'll be back in a bit.
Up and leave. Take a lot of courage just to live out your dreams. Bigger picture I could see if I just close my eyes. Have the foresight to believe. Time don't move backwards, it speeds to the future fearlessly. Charging forward when I open my mouth, though I may not know how. I know I was born to sing. Travel the world, raise baby girls, bury my best friend. I'm manifesting, but not concerned, 'cause whatever happens, I'm good. I'm good. Actually, more than good. Kinda great. Even on the bad days, I thank God for making me brave.
Okay, my podcast is recorded. I am definitely very exhausted. I'm always so hungry after my podcast episodes because I talk for so long, and then my brain is like, there's no energy, and my body needs energy. And what is energy? Food. Food is energy. That is why we eat over here, okay? So what I like to do is like have a few meal ideas that I can make throughout the week. But what I had on my list, and then obviously I put all of the ingredients that I needed and I went to the grocery store and got it, was eggs, bacon, and toast for the morning, which I got. I wanna make steak bowls. So I'm gonna make rice, and I'm gonna saute the bell peppers and the mushrooms together, and then have it like chopped up with lettuce and just have it in a little bowl with steak. I got this idea honestly from Impact Kitchen. Every time I go to Impact Kitchen, I usually get like a steak bowl, and they usually have like rice and lettuce. And also I'm gonna add guacamole, like a big scoop of guacamole and Greek yogurt onto it and just eat it. I can't wait to eat that. Then I have my smoothie on here, which I already ate. This is not for today, but this is like just meal ideas in general, like through the week. And also I wanna make chicken quesadillas, and it's actually helpful because when I saute the bell peppers and the mushrooms, I'm going to make like double so that I can add that into the quesadilla. So when I'm ready to put a tortilla on the stove, I already have it cooked, and I can just throw everything, the cheese, the bell pepper, and the chicken, and then just like make it. Or I could just like make a wrap, like if I get really lazy. And then also I have my Greek yogurt bowls, which I love to have. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to bake my chicken for a couple days just so that I don't have to like do it every single day, because I don't like doing that obviously, and have that ready for the quesadillas for whenever I want to eat it. I'm gonna saute up the bell peppers and the mushrooms and have that prepped as well. I'm gonna make one steak right now. I like to make my steak fresh every day that I'm gonna have it, because it doesn't take long. It takes like damn near less than 10 minutes to make a steak on the stove. So I'm just gonna make one and have it for this meal. I'm gonna make my rice and I'm gonna just chop up some lettuce, and everything else I don't like, there's nothing else I really need to make. And then yeah, I will show you what I make, and I'm so freaking hungry.
My headspace been weaker, it's been waiting for the right day. Like the right day ever comes, now it's Friday and nothing's changed. Mistakes that everyone is making, but I can't change. I'm stuck in reverse like an old Benz. Forgot to tap it up. Now I long for another day where things fall into place. So if you're down, I'll be down. Pack your bags, fill them up. We can go tonight, take a flight to a higher ground. How does that sound? How does that sound? So strange, why it always feel like it's too late. Waiting nothing here and it's too late for that.
Alrighty, dinner is served. I cut up the whole entire steak and put it in this bowl, chopped up the lettuce, sauteed the bell pepper and the mushrooms, put the guacamole and some rice. And I actually added some balsamic vinaigrette to when I was like sauteing the bell peppers and mushrooms to make it like a little bit sweet. And I might add some cheese onto this. I didn't feel like using Greek yogurt today, honestly, because I made a mess. So I'm gonna quickly go eat this. Hello, it is a little later, probably like an hour. After I ate, I honestly just sat and watched YouTube and like didn't even do much. And honestly, that is something that I think is important to do, is to just let yourself disconnect. And this is not to mean to spend a bunch of time on like TikTok scrolling all the time or like on YouTube, whatever. Like you can go out and live your life, but like go out and live your life. By the way, I'm gonna be doing a chemical exfoliant on my face tonight by Dr. Dennis Gross. There's like 2 different types of packages, but I'll have it on my like to know it if you're interested in these. But what was I saying? I feel like especially when you do a lot of self-development or you're like trying to hit goals or just have healthy habits, it can feel like it's never ending, especially when you're in the midst of building these healthy habits. Like, you know, it's not as normal for you to like go to the gym or eat healthy, like maybe you're just building or rebuilding. It's so good to give yourself like rewards or like celebrate in some way or just like relax and break things up. Like things don't have to be so serious all the time. Just think about some of the things that you actually like doing outside of, let's say, work or school or anything that you feel, you know, isn't the funnest, I guess. And for me, I love my reality TV shows. I love watching YouTube commentary. I love putting on music and dancing all the time. Obviously, I connect with my friends. I'll go out some nights. Sometimes I'll do a little scrolling on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. And I used to always feel bad about myself when I would do those things. And obviously, like if you do it every single day, going on social media and watching YouTube all day but not taking any action, like obviously if you do that a lot, you're not gonna feel good. I was so strict on myself that I would never even allow myself to not feel bad about any of the things that I just listed. Like maybe I would do it, like maybe I would take a break or I'll put down my laptop or I will go and dance or, you know, I'll go out. But I always internally was like barking at myself for doing that and telling myself like, oh, I'm gonna lose all my progress and oh, like you should be working or, you know, this isn't bad or this food isn't good or this, that. And it gets so tiring. You cannot possibly continue to live life and nitpick everything you do outside of a conditional self-improvement type of habit. Like you have to let things go sometimes and just let it be what it is. Especially I even think about when you eat food. You cannot control every single possible thing that you eat at all times. If you try, your life will be very, very small. It will. And I know that because that was my life. You don't want to go with your friends, you don't want to go to restaurants, you start to only have like certain foods that you will and will not eat. It just becomes very, very isolating. And I just don't think that that's what we're meant to do here on earth. Also, I'm going in with Fresh Beauty's Rose Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. I love this serum. I love all of their products, but I really love the serum. I love how it's mixed with oil. It just gives yourself like, sorry, your skin a glow where it's not too water-based because there's oil in it. So it really sinks into your skin and it actually like hydrates you and makes you look glowing. Like I'm gonna be talking about this in the Clean Girl video for sure. Anyways, obviously I totally lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is you are allowed to like be messy and be imperfect and play with life, like have fun, like not always, I'm not saying like make bad decisions and, you know, hurt people and go do shitty toxic things in life, but I just mean like you're allowed to like go and not make the right decision or like say the right thing or like do the best healthy habit, and it's fine. Something I've learned through healing my inner child is that I never actually allowed myself to indulge in any sort of play in life. Never would allow myself to actually just enjoy things outside of what that was going to do for me, like goal wise. I would never also be okay with myself when I didn't make the right decision. And it honestly kind of just makes you into this person that's very dull and kind of like hates life in a way. It's almost like, you know, those people who could just never laugh. I feel like a lot of us actually operate in that energy, but maybe we do laugh because we can kind of socialize and like not always look like a bitch or like not always whatever, but like there's deep down, there's that part of you that like can't just laugh, can't just let things go, can't just live. I realized I had that part of me, and I realized that part of me was very, very strong, and I didn't like it. I didn't like witnessing the fact that like, you know, I can't just release control for once and enjoy life. I can't just like allow myself to be messy. I can't just let things go and like let people be who they are or let myself be imperfect. And when I changed that, it changed my life. And I feel like adopting this mindset of like, not everything has to be so serious, it really does lead you to a very healthy life and a very happy life, because on the times where life is serious and you are working towards your goals or whatever, you still have that part of you that can just release at times and knows when to not make everything such a big deal. Like in my life, when I'm making my goals or my habits or planning things out, I know when I'm going too much in the energy of like, I can't just release anything and like, I can't just like have fun. So I pull back. I know that I need to pull back a little bit. I can look at my schedule and be like, all right, Alicia, like you're being a little like too strict and too hard, and like, where's the laughter? Like, where's the play? And why are we so serious right now? And where are we going? Like, where are we going so quickly? And why right now? And why are you making all of these reasons as to why you have to control and do absolutely every single thing perfect right now in the schedule, let's say? I'm just giving an example. And I think you get better at knowing yourself and when you do that over time, but I feel like you know that about yourself. You do. You just like can't release that control. But anyways, I don't know, that was a huge rant that I wasn't planning on saying. Also, I'm going in with my Fresh Beauty Youth Preserve Dream Face Cream. That was a whole lot. I've tried this before. This is my second one. Amazing. Fresh Beauty, listen, this is not sponsored. I seriously just love them so much. But their skincare, and I'm particular with skincare. I like a glowing face, but I don't like it too thick. I don't usually wear foundation, so like my skincare is essentially like my foundation. And you know, like if you're a foundation girl, like you've tried them all, like you need to like figure out, you know, which one is good and which one is crap, which one's gonna wear along. I feel the same about skincare. And for Fresh, it feels fresh on your skin. Like it feels light, like most of their products, but they're still doing something, and they're usually always making my skin glow. Like there's never a time where my skin is too matte. You know those face creams sometimes you put on and maybe they're amazing, but they make your skin look matte almost. I love a good glow, but it's not too greasy, and I don't feel like I'm wearing anything on my face. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything on my face. Now, when I use the Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Magic Night Cream, the gel one though. You put this on your face, baby, It's sludge. It's sludge. It's sludge. Now listen, if you put this on and you go to sleep, the next day, your skin is so plump. So I'm not even knocking it. I'm just telling you guys, I've said this multiple times. This is only usually for the days that I do my chemical exfoliant because I feel like it dries my skin a lot, which is like kind of a normal thing for this. And so I want to make sure that I'm hydrating the best that I can. Now I didn't do that tonight because this is actually the first time I wanted to like use fresh after dentist gross, but this makes your skin feel very heavy. And obviously like that's not like a daily thing that I would ever want to put on my face. It's really a night mask, but fresh, they just got it. So the last thing that I was going to talk about is, and show you potentially, like, was my night routine, but I already know this vlog is way too long. By the way, I'm rolling this oil blend from Sage on my temples and the back of your neck because that's where you're supposed to put it. I think you're supposed to put it somewhere else. I think like on your back of your hand, whatever. But this is literally so calming. I like to do this like before I'm going to sleep, although I'm not going to sleep right now, but it definitely has peppermint in it. I don't know what else it has. I like to also just like put it on if I just finished doing an everything shower routine, you know, like everything's oiled up and you put a little bit of this calming oil on. Yeah, anyways, I'm like putting way too much at this point. But anyways, what I think that I'm going to do is I want to film a video on how I plan my week to come because I feel like I talked about it a lot in this video, and I have like a new way that I've been planning, and I feel like make a video on that along with doing my self-care. And then I was thinking of just making a video of like build a new winter night routine with me, because that can just be its whole other video because there's a few things that I like to do. And any of the links, by the way, for the skincare will be on my Like to Know It. I have everything that I possibly can on my Like to Know It. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram where you can see my food, my skincare products, whatever I'm doing, and also the podcast, of course. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.